The 12-month grace period for student loan borrowers ended 1 month ago. It was aimed at helping borrowers struggling to make payments avoid the risk of defaulting and hurting their credit score. But some borrowers still can't pay them off. Here to explain how people can work to pay down those loans is University of Houston Bauer finance professor John Lopez. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, say you graduated from college, you had this grace period. You were just telling me, we just want to be clear to people that it doesn't mean that you're picking up where you left off. If you haven't paid anything for this whole time period, your loan is now much bigger because they were applying interest.
Correct. So some of these loans, they don't forgive interest. They make lower payments, but the interest continues to accrue. So what happens is that loan, as you're making those payments, gets bigger than what you borrowed. So that's something to look for when you're looking at the terms of your loan. If you're making payments that are less than what they should be made, then for sure that's adding to the balance. That's going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, so what does this mean for borrowers who may not have paid anything for quite some time now?
Yeah, the loan is still outstanding. It could be bigger. You need to get really aggressive on how am I going to get this loan repaid. And one of the strategies, look at your income that's coming in and have a plan for that income. You've got income coming in. You have non-discretionary expenses, things that you have to pay, rent, utilities, food, those kind of things. And debt payments is one of those. And then you have discretionary expenses, entertainment, eating out, travel, memberships, subscriptions. Cut back on those as much as possible and use that cash savings to pay down the debt. Also, if you get a promotion, if you get an additional raise, a bonus, use that to pay that debt down. You want to get out of that debt as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, because what happens if you default on a student loan, and does it depend on where this loan came from?
Yeah, no, that's right. So student loans by law cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. So that's going to be out there forever. So yeah, you're not going to be able to discharge that in many cases under a bankruptcy, which is the worst case scenario.
Right, and so when you're prioritizing sort of all of the payments and what you have to pay, I mean, you mentioned subscriptions and things that are not necessary. Obviously, those can go by the wayside, and ditch those first. But where should this fall in sort of priority? Because what can happen worst case scenario if you default on this loan?
Well, they're coming after you. They're coming after your assets. You're basically in default, and the government can garnish wages, those kind of things. But it's not a long-term thing. If you really concentrate on doing maybe a 2-year plan or a 3-year plan, get rid of that debt, you can make that happen. So it's not like you're going to cut back on subscriptions and travel and entertainment for the rest of your life. You're just doing it for a specific period of time. So get out of that debt.
Yeah, it's a little bit of sacrifice to dig out and then get. I mean, our Texas students, did we benefit at all? I know there was so many legislation that was introduced and then didn't pass, and this worked and that didn't. Did we benefit from any of that, or we just delayed paying?
I think we're delaying it. I don't have a lot of hope or expectation that this forgiveness discourse is going to happen, but you really can't just sit back and wait and hope. You need to take some action. You need to be proactive in getting rid of this debt.
And a couple of years ago, I remember talking with a father and his son. The loan was in his son's name, but they heard, student loan payments are on pause. We're not collecting them during the pandemic, so they didn't pay on them. And then they didn't have a traditional student loan from, what am I thinking, from the federal government. So theirs wasn't included.
Private loan, that's right. It was a private loan. Those were not included in that pause. That's correct.
So they were actually accruing late payments and all of this stuff that they didn't even know about. Right.
It's important to read the terms of your loan. Look and see what are the penalties, what are the default provisions. It's important to do that.
Does it help to reach out? I know a lot of times it can be difficult to even reach the loan servicing company or your provider, but does it help to reach out? Are they at all able to negotiate any of these terms?
They really can't. The best thing to do is talk to some of the, perhaps a financial advisor. Somebody can help you put together a plan to get out of these loans and put together a spending plan, basically. Here's my income, here's what I have to spend on, here's what I can come back for a period of time, and get rid of the debt.
Yeah, I mean, any idea right now, like how we're doing? I know sometimes they put out these studies about how many people have this much debt remaining.
It's a ton. It's a ton. It really is. It's a big problem in our society, and it's affecting the economy as well, because people coming out of college with that kind of debt don't qualify for mortgages because they have too much debt, car loans. So yeah, it's a problem. It's a big problem.
At a time when you should be, you know, getting your first job and starting life, you're like saddled with this huge debt.
Right.
We appreciate you coming in this morning. One last question. Any chance, I mean, we're still waiting to find out about this forgiveness thing, if that's going to go through, but
I don't have a lot of hope for that. I really don't. It's tied up in the political discourse. Federal law, federal court has put a stay on it, so I'm not hopeful.
Yeah, whether that happens or not, the time to start making your payments is the clock has already started.
Yeah, get a plan in place now and execute it.
All right. Thank you so much for your help.
Thank
I
you, Amy.
appreciate you coming in.
Take care.